What's happening? Thanks for swinging by. Today I'm going to be taking a look at another product. It is a boom arm from Fifine, the BM66T. There's the BM66 and the 66T. The T comes with an extension that makes it taller so that you can do a little more things with it. Maybe come up over your monitor, things like that. So if that's something you're interested in, stick around. Full disclosure, the folks over at Fifine did send this out to me for review. Regardless of that fact, I will be giving my opinions in this video. They don't get to see it before anybody else. It gets posted live when it gets posted, and everybody gets to see it at the same time. So, with that being said, let's jump into this. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing opened up and see what's inside. We all know it's a boom arm. This is something different that you can use to come up over your monitors or things like that. It's what I call an overhead boom. So we'll go ahead and jump into the box and see what we got. And I did previously open this just to make sure it was what it was supposed to be. So there's a piece of cardboard missing, but you've got your user's guide right here. Keep that handy in case you got questions later. That's what I would do. That's what I say. And then you've got your little handy dandy Allen key. All right, that's to tighten up the joints wherever you put the thing together with. And then here is the stand. This is what makes it the BM66T. There's an extension, so you can rise this up, get it a little higher off the desk. Okay, so we'll set that aside. And then you've got the boom arm. The boomer. All right, let me get the box out of the way. And there's the boom arm, but this is it. I don't know if there's a way to adjust this tension, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna dig into it. And there's your adapter, your 3/8 to 5/8 adapter for mounting your mics on. And then this end here would be the end. It's kind of hard to make you see that. There you go. That would be the end that goes into the mount, the clamp that goes on your desk. All right, and then you've got your joint and your two sections. All right, so let's go ahead. Now that we know what's in the box, let's go ahead and get this thing set up and start using it. So you're gonna start off by clamping it to the desk, and you want to make sure it's good and tight, because if you have it loose when you put this all together, it's gonna kind of wobble around. So make sure you move it back and forth as you're tightening it and check it. And then you're gonna just insert this section right into the riser post. And then you'll tighten that up with the Allen key. Get it snug enough so that it'll still move, but tight enough that it's not too loose. And it should move relatively easy. And then you can just pull these rubber strips out to run your XLR cable along the boom. And just stuff the cable in there, and then pop the rubber cover back inside there to hide your XLR cable. And then you just do the same thing on the more lower portion of the arm, and then go ahead and check and see if it's got good reach. It's adjusted the way you want it. And there we have it. I've got it hooked up, and this is kind of different. I'm not used to one of these. This really frees up the desk area. You're not worried about hitting it with your arms. If you're moving around, I'm very animated. I use my arms to speak. So this is a bonus. And there you go. We'll go ahead and you can see the whole thing. We'll see, like, you can, if you needed to swing it out of the way, swing it right out of the way. If you needed to raise it or lower it, you've got that ability. And it also goes back further. Like, you can come, how do I do this without blocking everything? You can come down and go out here if you needed to, for whatever your position is or your setup, or if you needed to come back this way and do it like that, it goes all in all these different positions. You can go forward and backward. I think this is pretty handy. Like I said, I'm not used to this. I've always had the low profile boom arms, so this is a little different for me. If you needed to go up over a monitor, you could do that as well. You can see how high it reaches. So we'll go ahead and measure it and see what your height is from the desk level. So So in the position that I have it in right now, it's 2 feet. So from the desk, 24 inches up, I can already see my biggest monitor, which is my 32-inch over here, which is lifted up. This is higher than that. And then my next monitor is even lower than that. So you've got plenty of reach if you have a smaller desk and you wanted to mount this behind the monitor so that the arm came up over the monitor, then you'd have the ability to pretty much do the same thing. It would just be coming up out of the way. I'm not gonna do that right now just because I'd have to take all my stuff apart just to get it back there. But if I wanted to mount it back there, that's an option. That's what the BM66T is gonna come with, this tall extension. Otherwise you'd be, let's see, it gives it another 6 inches of lift. So if you took that out, you'd be 6 inches closer. You wouldn't be able to get up over your monitors. With this, you can. So as far as weight goes, the Tank 1 is what I have on the, or had on the boom arm. And this is a whopping 885 grams. So it definitely can hold a heavy microphone. So just to give you a comparison, the Tank 1 weighs 885 grams, which is like 1.951 pounds, almost 2 pounds. Okay, the SM7B has always been known as one of the heavier microphones. So let's go ahead and throw this down on the scale. And the SM7B is 849 grams. That equates to 1.872 pounds. So still almost 2 pounds, but just under the weight of the Tank 1, doing a pretty good job holding a 2-pound mic. Let me look up and see what the weight capacity says for the BM66T. So according to Google, the weight capacity for the BM66T is 4.4 pounds or 2 kilograms. So I don't think you have to be worried about hooking up a microphone to it that's going to be too heavy. These are some of the heavier microphones available, aside from something like the Memphis Blue by Monoprice. We could look up the weight of that, but nevertheless, you're going to be able to put a decent microphone on this boom and not have to worry about it sagging. All right, so the big question, what are my final thoughts? I think this is an excellent choice for anybody that is on a budget and can't afford to spend $100, $200, $300 on these big overhead boom arms, and you're doing streaming, gaming, podcasting, content creation, and you want to clear up your desk space. If you're very animated like me and you use your hands to speak, you don't have to worry about hitting it. You don't have to worry about extending your arm and bumping it. It's up out of the way. And you can get the microphone at a good speaking distance so that you get that good quality sound that we all like. As far as aesthetics go, I think this is fine. This is no different to me than having a lower boom arm that you see in the bottom corner of the screen. This is just up in the top corner of the screen. So is it compact? No, it's kind of intrusive. It does, you've got this big arm sticking up, showing in your, in your view. But if that's not something that's going to bother you, then it's a good choice. I like it. I don't see anything wrong with this. I've got it far enough away that I don't have to worry about hitting it. It serves its purpose well. So those are all pluses. All right, so that's about all I have for the Fifine BM66T. If you've got anything positive out of this, please give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed already, you can do that. And when you do, don't forget to click the bell so that you get reminded every time I post a new video. So for the BM66T from Fifine, until the next video, I'm out.